Hey,
Mulch sheets.
You didn't bring Fred?
I know, I should have.
She's not, one's all white and one's black.
The girls had ball practice, so I like shipped them all in, got them all fed, and flew out the door. And I threw out the dog.
She's a little angry.
The kids tried to dress her up today, so yes.
We call this meeting of the calendar meeting of the Board of Education for the calendar in session. All board members are present. We'll turn it over to Amber for the calendar.
All right, I'm here to recommend a calendar for the 25-26 school year. Attached in the packet you have is the process that we went through. We started with the Professional Development Council. We met to create calendars. I gave them a blank calendar with all the basic things you have to follow. Then they started creating, and I'm like, no, you can't do this because of this, you can't do that because of that. So try to let them experience the process of creating a calendar. One group of ladies did come with a calendar already created. It did have to have a little bit of tweaking, but we did put that on as one of our options. So we came up with 3 calendars. Calendar 1 mirrored this year's calendar the most. We did make a couple of minor adjustments. We moved professional learning days to occur after benchmark assessments that would allow for data review and allow us to use that data to drive our instruction. Calendar 2, which was the calendar that was brought to the Professional Development Council, is already created, began a week earlier than this year. The calendar allowed for first semester to be completed by Christmas break. Students would attend during Tucker County Fair with the potential of creating a staggered start for grades so that they could be involved in the fair. We didn't go very far into how that potential staggering would work until we knew that was going to be the option that we were going to recommend. Calendar 3 allowed for spring break week in March, in addition to a Good Friday, Monday off for Easter. All 3 of those calendars, along with detailed descriptions, were sent out to all Tucker County school staff. Employees received 3 emails reminding them to vote. Hard copies could be shared at the buildings, and a hard copy was sent to the bus garage because the bus drivers don't always use their emails, so I wanted to make sure that they were aware of what the options were. Staff could follow a link to a survey where they would vote on it, or they could email me directly with their votes. The bus drivers signed a sheet with their votes. We also presented a survey out to Tucker County Schools community, asking community to vote. We did that through a Facebook page. And based on the staff and community responses, we are recommending calendar 1 for consideration as the Tucker County Schools calendar for 25-26. The next page shows you our staff response overview. We had 123 out of 166 staff members vote. 68 or 55% of those people who voted for calendar 1. 22 or 18% voted for calendar 2. 23 voted for 19% voted for calendar 3. And I did add an option of, I don't really care. I don't, because I know that we wanted everybody's contribution. So we did give an option of, I really don't care. You just tell me when to come to work.
Yep.
And so 10 people or 8% voted for that. I really don't care. The community response, we had 175 people respond. We had 107 or 61% of those people voting voted for calendar 1. 38 voted, or 38% voted for calendar 2, and 30% voted for calendar 3. I did not do those percentages right. And Kathy is going to yell at me. I just realized I must have just Just taking it out of the total. I apologize.
I was
Kathy.
wondering.
If you want the percentages, I'll get them, but that's wrong. When I said them out loud, I'm like, ooh, that's wrong. So I have provided you, calendar one in that pretty calendar draft form, so you would see what it would look like. And I've also presented you with calendar one, calendar two, and calendar three in the Excel documents that we have to build them on for the State Department.
Just as a reminder, we will not be voting on the calendar today. That'll be at the next meeting. We'll have to have another public calendar hearing before our next meeting, and then we'll vote. I have two questions. So
Yes, ma'am.
So in May, since graduation is always before Memorial Day, would graduation be the 20th, the 22nd of May?
No, graduation will be the 29th of May, and the reason it's being moved next year is because of the state track meet. It's also a conflict this year, but we didn't know that ahead of time. We didn't want students to be obligated to choose between the state track meet or their high school graduation. So we have moved it so that it will be the following week, the Friday of Memorial Day week instead of the Friday before Memorial Day, to avoid state track meet.
And Christmas break,
That is an extremely long break,
2 weeks?
which is what we had this year. And on the recommended calendar that the state builds, that is what they also have, is 2 weeks.
It's because of where Christmas falls.
That's where it falls. We are gonna have staff come in the Monday, and they will have that, that will give them the opportunity to have faculty senate, professional learning, any of those bonding activities. They really didn't like it this year because they only had a half day, and they really do like that time to enjoy each other's company and to have some bonding and some school morale type things happen during Christmas. So because we will have that Monday of Christmas week, that they can do that.
Thank you.
Any other questions?
You will see that we did, there is a professional learning day on the 26th of September, because the first 3 weeks of September will be our benchmarking. So that will give the results where teachers can have a day where the responsibility will be to dive into those benchmark results and see where their students are, what they know, what they don't know, so they can start driving their instruction. You will see another one on December 5th. That's requested from the high school because they will have their PSAT results back at that point, and they can use those PSA. They needed a day to really look at that data. And then we did the same thing in February, after the January-February benchmarking. It's a little later because we never know what our snow is going to be, but it does give us an opportunity to look at that second benchmark and give teachers an idea of where they're at and where they need to go. That was one of the recommendations of the Professional Development Council. Actually, one of the individuals that's in here, one of the people in here really felt that it was necessary that we had an opportunity to have a day where we're really looking at that data, really use those benchmarks the way we should.
Any other questions? This meeting is adjourned for the calendar. Now, come to the regular session. We call this regular meeting as Clark County Board of Education session. All board members are present. We please stand and recite the pledge of allegiance. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Do we have any public comments?
Tracy, I thought you were standing up to talk. You guys don't, you're on the agenda, so you don't want to speak publicly, like,
Oops.
in this section, right?
Sorry, I asked Tracy if we need to sign in. I'm sorry.
You're on the
This
agenda.
momentarily will put you where we're at.
So if you speak in this section, we're not allowed to talk back. We
Oh,
just
maybe we should.
listen.
Maybe we should talk right now then.
We just listen and you get 5 minutes.
Oh, no, we need more than 5 minutes.
Okay. If you talk on the agenda where we have you on there, we can talk back and you can have more than 5 minutes.
So there's student delegations, other recognitions. We're down to DTMS beautification project.
Guess what? That's us. We're gonna talk again. All right. Liz, do you have a floor cooked to the projector? I know you said I should use this, but let me ask this, which would be easier? Because you have the presentation in front of you. Would you rather just look at it or would you rather look at it up here? What would you prefer and what is the easiest?
Whatever makes you comfortable.
I don't care.
Yes.
It doesn't matter. There's a law.
Staples and that's why.
You just printed out the PowerPoint
I
for
did.
them?
Well, not PowerPoint, this way.
Oh, okay. Look at you.
I know.
It's easy. It's so much easier than a PowerPoint. But we can, if you want to take a minute and look at it. The only thing I did not put in there.
Here, do this one. It's already typing. You need speakers?
Yes.
You know, Megan's plenty loud.
No, I meant does her sway have any sound?
No, my sway doesn't have sound. No, it doesn't. That's not, it's just the same thing. But it just looks, yeah. Your projector is not gonna be, it's gonna be.
So you girls are presenting this because you want to be nice and present this, is that what you're here?
You got
Well, so we kind of decided to form like a little committee at the school, so we can work on things that need done there. So we called it, when we kind of started, we kind of called it the playground committee, which has been turned into the everyday committee. So this is where we get together, and it's open to anybody that wants to be a part of it or whatever. There's no like, your president or whatever, it's just a bunch of us get together, talking about like the needs of the school and who's gonna be in charge of fundraising, who's gonna be in charge of different things, and so it's kind of just something that we're doing, yes, on our own.
I don't even know. Push your click.
So we met, I'll kind of just start here. We met one time at the beginning of the school year.
Well, it started last year.
Yeah, well, I mean, we didn't really have a committee then. No. After, I think after Mary was kind of like overwhelmed with trying to do what she wants. So it kind of started with bathrooms. She wanted to do a bathroom remodel. She was in charge of student council. Her and student council were kind of thinking that would be something that they could spend some of the money on and work on together and getting our bathrooms renovated, fixed up, looking better, that kind of stuff. And then once she kind of started working on it, she realized she needed more help than just herself and a few students at school. So that's when we kind of started the playground committee, and then now it's kind of turned into our beautification committee. So it's not just about the playground, it's about the bathrooms, the locker rooms at the school.
The bathrooms are our main
Bathrooms are our main
priority because I'm not sure if you've
Been there.
been there.
Been here.
There, Rob,
She has some pictures for us to
there
see.
are some pictures. If I could get this wonderful beautiful
I know that
picture.
while Steely was still principal, the sinks that people literally, like, I thought were gonna lay on the floor and throw a fit, is he had to take them out because they were the old pedestal type sinks that you step on the thing. We still have
Yes,
one.
absolutely.
Literally, people were crying because those had to be ripped out, but like, I think it was more of a problem of plumbing, that you couldn't kind of fix those
Yeah.
anymore. And so they had to come out and they were replaced with just a regular sink. And then like, there's just this plumbing that's there and ugly and hideous looking, but we have sinks. So, yeah, he kind of started doing that. I know also during the time that Steely was still there, there was some painting done in the boys' bathroom. They put that, what's the coat called that you put on the floors, the little speckles on it, that kind of stuff. He kind of took that over and did that himself, I think, while he was still there, painting those floors and getting those in the hallway kind of spiffed up a little bit with that kind of material. Something happened in between when the boys was done.
The floor has asbestos in it.
The tiles are all.
The tiles
In the
do.
bathroom.
So it's all replaced four at a time.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the tiles in the girls' bathroom are still the original tiles that have been in the building
Also-
since 1977.
You can see the picture
Yeah.
on the page.
The photos are at the very end, but
Yes, in the presentation, I have a link to, but I can't get it, it's not gonna work. Tracy's trying to work her magic. But Aaron took the initiative to contact Frank Roberts last year, and he came to do,
I said he's way overpriced.
and he's way overpriced, and we know that. However,
But he's the only one
He is
that
the
got
only
it quote
one.
to us. Yeah.
and we are currently waiting for Jonathan hey, there we are. Beautiful. We are currently waiting on Jonathan to get back to us. We know he's a busy man. To get back to us on where you can purchase toilets and where you can purchase the appropriate things to replace the stalls to make them ADA compliant, because right now we are definitely not compliant, according to Frank.
Frank said we would have to ultimately lose a stall to have an ADA compliant bathroom. So like right now we have 6 stalls, I think each or 5 stalls in each, we would have to lose one, but.
Is that because the bathroom in the special education room is handicap compliant? Is that how?
I don't know.
Don't know what he made that.
I don't know how he came up with that, because I wasn't
Or did it have something to do-
involved on that committee at
The
this
metal
point.
stalls here, is that the ones?
So
Yes.
that's the girls' bathroom. So ultimately,
Yeah, those are definitely not ADA.
no, they're not. So definitely we need 5 new toilets and some sinks, and stall dividers are really important in the girls' bathroom. The boys have been replaced. I'm not sure when they were replaced. That's what I told Aaron. I said, but they have been replaced in the 16 years that I've been there. Not the toilets, but in the sink feature, or the sinks have been too, because we used to have
The same one.
the thing that's still in the girls' bathroom or locker room. The boys has
Aaron
been
was probably one of
replaced.
the people that cried when they swam.
I know.
There was
I
lots
know.
of people kicking and
We
screaming.
have to keep that one somehow, like.
So
the flowers and-
when you look at the actual, if I go down here and show you the bathrooms, this is the flooring, this picture. This is the flooring under the girls' bathroom. This is under the girls' bathroom sink.
Like, I walked in there and I'm like, I'm embarrassed. I'm
It's
embarrassed that
embarrassing.
people walk into this building
It
and
is.
use these bathrooms. This is embarrassing.
I'm sure it is.
It's just, like, stuff's
And-
so old, it can't be cleaned anymore.
No.
That's where we're at.
Yeah. No matter how hard you clean,
They were on their
Trust
knees and knees scrubbing.
trust, because we did it 2 weeks ago. It's still stained. And so
It looks better, but it's still.
it does. It looks better, but so like our toilets are stained at the bottom of
I
them
don't know if
because
that's
they
from
have
like mops when you mop
moss
face.
and
like,
wax
against
and
it.
those kind of things that it's there. It's there, it's gross, it's dirty, it's dingy.
On top of it, not
Also, like, the boys' bathroom is that photo. That's
This
me
one.
standing at the doorway. Like, you can see kids using the bathroom.
In the urinals, we would like urinal dividers in the main portion of the boys' bathroom. However, the locker rooms do have the dividers. They're newer.
Yeah.
They do have dividers between them. Because let me tell you something, there's a lot of behaviors they have to take care of in the bathroom because he's looking at me.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Or when
I'm
they
just
were
throwing
all,
that out
or when
there.
they were all broke down and teachers and students had to use the same bathroom.
Yes.
That was a huge problem.
That was a huge problem.
Huge problem.
So this is the sink fixture under the boys' bathroom, which has been replaced because we used to have the trough thing in there also. However, it's just, there's definitely some things. There's the bathroom. That's from the bathroom door.
Standing from the door.
That's right at the bathroom door of the boys' bathroom. So
The one
anyway,
in the hallway?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's her
That's
bathroom.
really-
these
that's
are our
really
only
our main-
bathrooms.
That's the bathroom
That's
that
the only
everybody
bathroom,
uses.
yeah, cause
I
the
was thinking.
locker rooms are off, they don't even get used anymore.
Because we had set out to really try to fund middle school bathrooms, and it just couldn't happen. It's too expensive. So now we have kind of worked together as a whole school to make it happen where middle school can use it. They're not in there.
They
Try
they
not
go
to be at the
in
same
between classes and we try
time,
to get
and
them.
we have a schedule so that they're not there at the same time. Because our
That's
middle
all.
school, our locker room bathrooms were getting destroyed too. And that put a halt to that. However, this, as you can tell, this is the girls' locker room. I'm pretty sure that's the original stall that was put in there. I'm almost 100% sure. I would take a wild guess. The floor has been redone in this bathroom to match the floor that's in the foyer, that's in the boys' bathroom, that's in our cafeteria. The floors have been, that was one major thing that had been redone. I don't know if you did it, or I know Steely did some of it.
So the hallway, the beige floor with the speckles, the hallway, the entryway,
We did that when we painted the hallways.
that, Steely did
Yes,
those.
yes.
And it was more of your high end,
You can
Yes.
tell. It's a
Flooring
lot
with
nicer.
Because
Yeah.
What
Because
is-
that's the most,
yes.
Traffic
What is
area.
in the cafeteria and the bathrooms that have been painted over, some our custodians did that.
traffic.
Which is like what's in my garage with the flood
Right.
that
I
you
know, I
can-
can't
But
think
it's
of
still
what it's
better
called.
than that tile
It is.
that is in the
It
girls'
is.
bathroom.
But it doesn't, it flakes and it peels and it does not hold up quite like what it
The
is down in the
entryway.
entryway. And Steely's goal for that, when he did that, was he was gonna do the
to-
entryway and then he was gonna do
Yes.
both hallways.
But we never got there.
But that's where it stopped.
Yes.
But,
So you can
so
see.
it's a higher end.
It is. You can see, this is the boys' locker room. So this is what's in the boys' bathroom also, these types of stalls, because I'm pretty sure that their stalls were so bad, they didn't have doors, and we had to replace them at one point. In the ideal world, we would love to add another toilet into that, into the locker room. The locker rooms are not our top priority right now. Our real true top priority is our girls and boys bathroom, because that's what's used by the public when they're there for all kinds of events. Another thing we threw in there is, yeah, that's where I am now. Let me scroll down. Is the outside, the playground. And Aaron wrote up some beautiful
Which if you wanna
things.
wait, and let's finish talking about
Is
the
there anything
bathroom,
you have
then we can
anything to say?
continue.
Okay, sorry.
Well, cause I thought maybe you wanna talk, so far,
There's
fund
the
wise, funding
Oh,
wise,
yes.
if they wanna look at the packet that has, the other packet, not the one with the pictures,
Like the single
it
one.
has some information on about funding that Erin can kind of explain to you.
So before Christmas, I sent out like a sappy letter to 13 businesses begging for money for the bathrooms. And that's the account that has the $10,000 in it. So roughly right now, we have almost enough to buy the stalls alone because Jonathan gave me this company out of Morgantown called Foundation Building Materials. And just to replace, and this is for all of the dividers for both boys and girls bathrooms and both locker rooms, was $12,390, and that's just for the stalls alone, like the dividers and the doors.
No toilets,
No
no sinks.
toilets, no sinks, no paint, no floor, nothing. So we have almost enough money, and I might even be able to say like, hey, we have $10,000, what can you do with that? You know, what's the start?
And there's other people that if we reach out to and let them know, this is how much we have, this is how much our total cost is. We have some other people, I think, that are interested in helping out in any way that they can, but we can't really do that until we have a little
Yes,
more
like
information.
Matiki said like, hey, like, I didn't want to use Roberts's quote because like you could buy 2 houses for his quote. Matiki's like, how much are you guys talking about? Because we might just fund the whole thing, but I don't, like, I need toilet prices from Jonathan, et cetera, to be like, this is our
And we
ballpark.
don't have those yet.
Yeah.
We're still waiting on them.
So for the number of toilets that you have or for additional toilet.
No, for the
That's
number,
what we
to
have.
replace,
Just to replace what you
I
Just
think
to
we just want
replace.
like the minimum.
the minimum, we're not
Get it
asking,
right now,
we're
you
not,
know,
no,
and
just what we have. Just what we have,
If it
honestly.
works out that you could get it, we end up getting more money, more
And if you-
whatever.
Like,
you're-
just for the main bathrooms right now, or with the locker rooms included in that?
Our main focus is the
Main.
main bathrooms.
Mhm.
Like, I mean, we could get some.
All, you know, like they always tell us your minimum, this is our minimum.
This is our minimum.
Wouldn't it be great if we could have every bathroom in the school fixed and our playground perfect and everything? You know,
We're
that
realists.
would be a wonderful
We know
world,
that.
but we're starting here and starting small with, let's do that main bathroom and then we can keep working and keep fundraising, keep reaching out, keep doing whatever we
Because
need to do.
fundraising is happening. That is something that we have been doing for the past couple of years. We also have a donation button that was pretty much clarified today and finished that I will be pushing out on social media for donations to our beautification fund.
Currently, we have the coin thing that's lasting until the end of March, yeah.
Oh.
It's been fun.
It's really competitive with
They're
that.
very
Very
competitive.
competitive.
I have a whole gallon bag that was emptied the first day.
We have pizza night coming up too at Mountain State Pizza.
Yes.
Last year we made $800 in 4 hours, so
Yes.
we'll probably do that again.
Our
We're
biggest
gonna do
supporter
that.
is Erin, I mean PTO
Yes.
Erin, but it's Erin.
Yes, Miss Erin. She's a
So,
PTO,
they're very
LISC, you know how that rolls in small
Every
school.
fundraiser that PTO gives, they end up allocating us a little of their money to put towards any of these kind of projects that we're working on as well, so. That's how we got our gym. The gym came from Cynthia's time of PTO, so the gym looks like it does now because PTO helped us get the money to make it look like that, so. We really rely on community and PTO and everything to help us make the money, so. We're just, like I said, we're here because we've definitely got a plan. It's not like very specific, but we're working on raising the money. We know that we want more, but we also need a little bit of help from you guys too. So I think that's kind of
Okay,
our,
once you get the regular bathroom done, where are you gonna go next?
That's our next, that's the next thing we'll talk about.
Oh, okay, sorry.
So,
but I guess
I guess we,
we
yeah,
can lead into
if we
that.
can lead into that. So our next goal, we also have a fund set up for it.
It's our
It's
playground.
our playground. So I know years ago before me, PTO raised money for that playground that's out there and parent donations. And right now, our playground, needs some help. We actually are getting ready to make some contacts about mulch. But, if you look, you have
Show the
some.
equipment too.
I will. Let me make these bigger. So, you have these at the end of the slide, at the end of your packet. I don't know why. I'm pretty sure, like when Alicia was principal, this conversation happened. But this brush has gotten out of control, at the base of our playground around our chain link fence. It's actually ruining it.
It's ruined that one whole section.
Kids get in there and hide. It's a safety hazard. Pretty sure some kids got ticks in there at one point.
And after school the other night, one of our students took it upon themselves that they were going to start cleaning it. So they
So,
went over and started breaking off what they could with their hands, making them a nice pile because they wanted to clean the fence.
this is
I
one
didn't keep the kid from doing
thing.
it because he wanted to do what he needed to do, something with himself this week. But yeah, I mean, it looks bad, it's damaging things, and that's something that I think we are supposed to have someone coming to work on.
Clear up, but we just threw that in there because that's part of our beautification. So then we need new mulch. We're gonna make some contacts this week. Somebody has volunteered.
We received some mulch at the end of the year last year, but it was not a substantial amount, I think it was just like, kind of like.
To fill in some
little-
holes.
Yeah, is what it was used for, which
Some
we have,
mud
those
puddles.
holes are back right now, and we definitely need mulch
And we definitely have a major
for
issue.
safety.
We have a major safety issue, which is right, and you probably have gotten there. Let me shrink this, hold on.
Our slide broke off. She
Our
finished
slide
shrinking it
broke
too.
off, that's our next thing, and of
So,
course.
Right now, there is a piece of plywood
as you can
over that
see,
spot. Because obviously if you leave it open, if someone climbs up there.
They're gonna
going
jump.
to jump or they're gonna fall
We've been
off
there, done
or
that.
whatever. A slide has been priced and I heard they're anywhere from $9,000 to $10,000.
Because you can't just buy a regular slide, it has to be compliant.
Yeah.
You can't just, which
Just
is,
because that slide.
and we discussed this morning at our committee meeting that it doesn't have to be exactly what we've replaced. Let's look for the cheaper compliant that will work as an additional slide.
Just to make it,
So that's one thing we're working towards
Is
also.
that a vandalism issue from?
no.
No, it just
I mean,
broke.
it could have
It
been a
broke.
combination, because definitely there was bad words sketching, and that could have been our kids. That could have been the public that uses it. There's bad words scraped into the paint and stuff on it, and body parts and things like that. The kids come to you daily and say, and we're like, yes, we know you've told us this every day for 3 years. We know it's there.
Unfortunately, it's used by the public also.
So
and
it's
I-
probably a 50-50, 60-40. It's hard to tell where, it all comes from. So I did get a $1,500 grant from the Tucker County Giving Tree. And so they gave us some money to give it, that we got for that. Not that, it's supposed to be designated toward the playground, as well as the money that we've gotten from donations and things from PTO. And so on one of those other handouts, we have a total of, does it have a total? So together, 22 and 15, so $3,700. So we did have some money to do some work with. We just wanted to let you know that we're also working on that. I don't think we're really here to worry about
No,
money for that, but just to let you know that this is part of what we as a school are trying to work on for
we
Davis.
also have some major, as you can see, our, this is a major safety concern. It's our outline of our playground. There's several portions. They've learned to jump over it and pray that
And
nobody
follow
hits
their
it.
eyes, they don't jump over.
There's a couple that are like that for the most part, but most of it's fine. There's just a couple spots that we would like to see replaced.
We're getting sand for the sandbox, but we're voting for donations for that.
We are.
So like all the things that we're working on, there's definitely, people that will help us get and to do and all of that. But we just wanted everybody to see what we're working on and what we're doing as well with all of our beautification up there.
You guys spoken with anybody from the foundation yet?
Yeah.
Because they were looking for projects that schools.
I applied for a grant, like it was for 12,000, but we got denied. I mean, I haven't spoke to them since then.
And I got the
And she
1,500
got
just
the
this year.
1,500
I
this
just
year
got that
from
them.
it.
So
We did.
I think they're coming this week to talk to me, Mandy, and Jody, because we all three got grants from them for different things.
Okay.
I think Jody's is more for her classroom.
So
And
she
Mandy's is more
also,
for her community and school stuff that they help keep her with like hygiene products and things that she uses for the students and me.
I take them a walk around the playground, so.
Oh, they'll definitely want to.
Yeah.
They'll definitely want to see
The
all that. when they come.
pre-K also has, we've been working PTO, pre-K, Jody, on, because that's one thing we're out of compliance with pre-K is they don't have their own playground.
Preschoolers play on that same playground you already looked at.
Yeah.
Everybody plays. on it.
Everybody plays on that, pre-K 8. It is used by the whole school. And so Jody has been saving nickels and dimes for years to try to get her
Got some
own,
things, donations, grants.
her own funding to make that happen. She's well on her way. Erin, because she's a great beggar, if anybody needs her, got a fence donated to Jody from Lowe's and the cement, for the pre-K, right?
Yeah.
We're just waiting for maintenance to come put it in.
It's at the school.
It's at the school, yeah. They delivered it when,
Before Christmas, like Thanksgiving.
but they wanted to wait to put it in the spring versus. And so that we are making strides. We don't have all the T's crossed and all the I's dotted yet to have a final bottom line number. But we wanted you to know what was happening. We would like to maybe purchase some paint to paint the walls. We would like to ask you for some funding to help us get this underway. I don't know if you have any funding available. I don't know if you can give us a loan to help us get along the way, because you can see we definitely fundraise. Every penny goes that direction. So that, we just wanted to present this to you so you knew what was happening.
We also kind of put it on hold for about a year, because
We
we did
did.
it last year that Tucker Valley
It's
was
doing their
trying to
bleacher
get their
fund.
bleachers, and we don't wanna, I know we have two different places and everything, but also at the same time, you don't wanna be doing fundraising for the whole county at one time.
And we
so.
didn't want to compete with them, so we kind of just sat back and waited for a little bit. We worked under the radar for a little bit and then decided, okay,
It's time to let everybody
it's
know.
time to let them know what's happening. But that's where we are right now. So when we hear from Jonathan on the toilets, we can definitely give you an itemized, let you know for sure what, bottom line prices, what we're missing, what we're asking, but we just wanted you to be aware of it.
That we're gonna be asking.
We're going to ask.
Yeah, I would like you to come back with,
We sure can.
you know,
I figured you would, so,
a good number.
yes.
And obviously, we gotta see what we can't do, but we really need that good number. And I applaud you ladies for doing what you're doing for your kids, for your school, whatever you do. I wish we could just snap our fingers.
We know that.
understand.
We totally understand.
But
We
your
do.
efforts are greatly noticed. I mean, it's awesome what you guys are willing to do beyond just educating your kids. This is great.
I know you guys aren't with Mount Top Library, but how are they coming along with their new library that they?
So the kids go over there every day.
I don't think they can do.
I don't know anything about a new library. They don't start, they
They
haven't,
talk about building a new library for
Yeah.
years.
Yeah.
So they're-
but nothing has happened.
Okay.
They have a new sidewalk or a new walkway and I do know that, but I don't, Miss Savon left.
Yeah.
So I think when Miss Savon left and they got a new librarian, things were kind of shuffled there for a little bit. But I do know that I remember seeing somewhere that they were having some fundraising for that effort.
I remember a couple years ago, they came with designs and everything, architects.
I think when Miss Savon left, things kind of got shuffled.
And it wasn't, you got technically.
And then COVID hit.
But you also work beside each other to
Yes.
use it.
Yeah.
Our kids use that library.
Yeah.
Angie takes them every day. At least a group a day. So,
Have you also talked to John, is it possible that some of this stuff can be done by our employees during the summer? or
That's kind of
anything?
what we were
Well,
hoping.
we're hoping
I
for it.
mean,
That bottom
I see
line,
some challenges in your photos. I mean, that plumbing has to be, something has to be done there. That's
Yeah.
god awful. That is
Well,
setting
so
or
I
anything like
reached
that.
out to the Fultons, Roberts, who else, Scott Filler, all of our local people, but everybody's so busy that like nobody,
There's not enough to go around right
Yeah.
now.
There's not.
no one has time or the manpower to
I-
get to us, pretty much is what
I'm pretty sure the appropriate forms have been filled out to get that brush cleared. I think, but I'm gonna follow up on it.
Please do.
Mhm.
Can you
Yeah.
kind of help them get that information from Jonathan, maybe
Yeah.
if you could, and then maybe they could present at the next board meeting, so they'll have all the figures that they would need.
Yep.
Maybe.
Absolutely, we can do that.
Yeah, cause like I picked out toilets at once, but Jonathan was like, don't go to those.
We are going to,
We're
we
getting
have
ready
a
to-
contact,
We have a person
We
contacting
just-
Northwest.
something that was gonna happen this
I lost
week.
it again, Northwest something.
When we had a little meeting this morning with our 5 committee members and, she had found a contact. They had donated to Harmon. So we're gonna beg. We're also gonna call Fairfax to beg for our new sand. Faculty Senate replaces a lot of things also. Faculty Senate split and bought picnic tables all the way around the school a couple years ago.
We help pay for the
We
dog
have,
pit.
we paid for the Gaga pit, we replaced swings. There's a lot of things that our faculty said, and we're the president and the treasurer. So there's a lot of
Well, that
things
too.
that we have done that, a lot of things we try to find funding for. It's just, this project
It's too big.
is too big. It might be a 10-year project and we need to
I
turn
don't
it
think
into
you
like
want
a
us going in and touching
3-year
the plumbing.
project.
Like,
No.
we're not plumbers.
Janelle might watch YouTube.
Can we
Janelle might watch
but I
YouTube.
don't think
That's how
plumbing
she
is our
changed the
job.
electricity at her
You
house.
would probably get in trouble for that one. I do,
She
I think
learned
I'll
how to change the
probably
light
get in trouble.
switch off YouTube. She really did. Janelle's very capable of doing lots of things, but, So thank you for your time. Do you have any more questions for us right now?
thank you all for your effort.
Yeah.
Please come
Thank
back
you.
and see us
Yeah,
and give
we
us
will.
some more reports on this.
Absolutely. That's why we're here. That's just to get the ball rolling. Do we have, did we cover everything?
I think so.
Thanks, lady.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Don't forget to unplug your computer.
I
before you
won't.
turn it out.
But I'll have to bring my
Just
bag out.
always please
Honey.
come to us, because if we don't know, we don't know.
Exactly. And
We can't be everywhere at one time, so
Not Tracy,
please
find me
don't
some money.
hesitate to come.
We have our
Thank you,
ducks in a
everything.
row for the most part now.
I'm impressed with your presentation.
So visit, I think sneak visits are wonderful.
Well,
Maybe, maybe.
Just carry it, just like that. All right.
Give me the bag.
I can carry the bag, it's not heavy. The computer is the heavy thing. All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
So then we're down to bus reports.
If you guys have any questions, feel free to ask me at this time. I'd like to bring to your attention that it's been at least 10 years since we bought 2 buses. So we're behind at least 4 right now. I've got 2 that is down, the motors is bad in. And after 12 years, we quit getting reimbursement for the buses. And it's just not worth putting a $25,000 motor plus $5,000 labor in them old buses. Because when we go to sell them, we'll be lucky to get $3,000 out. And like I said, I'll give you an idea. I've got 7 buses. It's got 150 to 200,000 miles on them right now. I've got 3 that's got between 100 and 150. I've got 5 that's got over 50,000, and I've got 4 that's under 50,000. But what's killing us is the miles and the rust. We've got some that's frames is pitted so bad, we cover it with undercoating to try to, get through the next inspection. And if there any way possible, next year, we'd like to try to get 2 buses to try to start getting caught back up.
It hasn't quite been 10 years, because we did 2 buses since I've been here. We did a bus and then 2, and then 1, and then 2. We did it twice.
I think so.
And I've been here 8
Now, the
years.
timing may be off because we couldn't get buses.
Because of
but-
COVID, I think we
Yes.
got like a delayed one.
Yes.
On how we.
Mine was delayed when it
Yes.
come in 2000.
Yeah, but we had issues getting them
Yeah.
because of delays.
When was the
But
last time you bought 2 buses?
Maybe 6 years.
6 years ago?
yeah, because we
During
started
COVID.
that House Bill 206, that was one thing we did, and that was 20. Was when that passed.
That has to be funny.
In 1920 fiscal year. Like I said, with the timing, it may have worked out that we got one, but it was, I believe it was budgeted for 2 buses twice
But then
since
with the COVID
2020.
push.
With the timing of getting them, yeah, so it may have ended up.
So the last ones I can remember was 16 and 17, them was model year 15s.
Yeah, I know we did it at least once. I was thinking twice, but I know we've done it since I've been here. Because that was the push that we were behind and that our fleet was dwindling and we didn't have spares and we had to kind of replenish. So when that Senate bill or House bill passed, that was one of the things that we worked into that. The issue now being the reimbursement or the money that we get for buses, and I don't know if it's because they're trying to push electric buses. It used to be enough to cover a bus and a half. So that's why we would do 1 year and then 2 the next
Right.
year. We would hold that over. And now it's not even enough to cover 1 bus because of, I don't know if it's went down or buses have went up or what's happened, but we used to get enough funding that it covered a bus and a half every year. And so we would buy 1 bus 1 year and then do 2. But now it's not even enough to cover 1 bus.
Yeah, because our state aid is around 90,000 for buses, and our buses used to cost much less, and now our buses cost about 150.
Give you an idea, in 2009, our buses cost $82,000. Right now, you're looking at $148,000.
Yes.
I think Jonathan explained a lot of stuff to us pretty well in an email. And I do understand the point of not replacing a motor in a bus that we can't get reimbursement for. That completely makes sense. And that's just, that's something that, you, again, as I said earlier, you don't know. So when you come to us and tell us these things, it helps us understand exactly what you're faced with, what Tracy's faced with, that we don't know. But if we're out in public and we hear all these things out in public, we don't know how to answer it because we don't know. So when you come and you explain that, hey, I have a bus or 2 buses without a motor in it, and it makes no sense to place a motor in a bus that's 12 years old or 14 years old, you know, at least now when we go out in public, we can explain to them, this is why we don't do this. You know, this is why. Because whether we like it or not, our employees talk to people. You know, it's just a fact of the matter. It doesn't matter whether if I'm in this position or if I'm in one of my positions at the firehouse or wherever, our people talk to other people. And it gets out in public because we live in a small community. But when you come to us and talk to us, this makes it easy for us to have answers to go back into our community, back to our constituents who vote for us, to explain to them, hey, this is why we're doing what we're doing, you know, instead of standing in front of them and saying, well, I can't answer that. And they look at us and say, isn't that your job to be able to answer that? You know, which they do, you know, I mean, so please come to us and explain these types of things to us more often. And I think that there won't be a breakdown in communication and we can be able to address things in public to keep this stuff from happening in the future. You know, where Jonathan has to answer a 5-page email to us saying, this is why things are done, you know. So, I mean, that's how I feel about the whole situation. Maybe the other 4 members feel differently, but that's how I see it.
I predict, as far as subs goes, I predict that, you know, we was one of the last counties to ever shut bus runs down because we lack of subs.
Mm-hmm.
Unless we can get something done, give them some kind of incentive to come to work, pay them for their training or something, we're not gonna get anybody.
How much does training of so?
An average somewhere around $1,500. If I can shove them complete through, you know, fast.
Sure.
If they've already got their CDL. Now, if they don't have their CDLs, it'll take me an extra 3 weeks to get them trained and get them tested.
Well, I mean, that's definitely something the board may have to look into, you know, is
Because we're not getting. no
we can't make any
applications.
promises here today. That's not
Right.
really on what we're discussing. But yeah, if you're facing hurdles like that, that's what we need to know. We truly do, Harry. We need to know the hurdles that you're faced with so that we can help better serve you, which in the end serves the bus drivers and serves the kids. Our goal is to get those kids in the seats and get them educated. And
I think
you're an intricate part of that. You're one of the step ones. If they don't get on the bus, they can't get there.
Right.
So you touch the football every day. So we need that communication with you.
And I think a lot of issues that school systems are having is you can't lock people into contracts, like to make them work a certain amount of time for you if you pay for something.
Sure.
For
And
them.
that's
And
understandable.
that's where people are hurting. They're coming into school systems to get this training, to get their CDLs, to get what they need, and then they're going and taking a job driving a truck, making a lot more money. And then you've put that money out to
Yeah,
train
and by no
them.
way, shape, or form am I trying to say that we need to do this. I'm just saying that we need to be able to look into our options. And
We do.
We need to know these things. We need to know that it costs that kind of money to do it.
And we need for code to align for us in the legislature so
That was
that
my
we
next
can do
point,
things
is
that we need to be
that
able
most
to
of
do.
us do talk to those type of people, the legislators, the delegates, and that's who we need to be able to talk to. But we need that information from
Right.
the people who know. I don't know nothing about what you do down there unless you come and tell me about it. So when you tell me about that, hey, the next time I see this person or that person, I can say, you know, this is a problem. And this is why we don't have, and it's not just Tucker County, it's other counties too. And we need adjustments in the code. So I think that this communication is important.
Absolutely. Does anybody have any questions for Gary?
I would just ask that if you could come back every now and then and just talk to us about this stuff. It would greatly be appreciated by me.
So we've got 2 down right now with turbos bad. And we're waiting to get they're on back order again. I don't know what's going on. We're back like COVID. It could
Oh,
take-
yeah.
It could take on up to a month to get a turbo now. We used to have 1 to 2 days.
You go down here to any of the local auto body places and they got cars stacked up because they can't get parts. Right? I get it.
Wasn't that one of the reasons that you wanted to get Bluebird buses so we could get the parts easier?
I wanted to get Bluebird because they were and still are one of the best of the three. I can get parts faster because they stock them, but when it comes to like turbos, then it's Cummins parts.
Yeah.
They're not Bluebird.
Cabin chassis is made by Bluebird, but they put somebody else's.
Thank God we didn't go with the electric, or we would really be up the creek without power. Because now everything's been, back to the way it was, gas and diesel.
I heard one of the superintendents say at our meeting, they have all kinds of electric buses. Not buying it anymore.
Really?
I rode on a couple of
They've
them. drove them.
incentivized them so much that you can almost get the buses for next to nothing. But then you have to put in the charging stations, which are hundreds of thousands of
I
dollars.
was gonna say, Harry talked to me 2 years ago about that, how much it was gonna cost to upgrade everything down here. It just made it impossible
Yeah.
to even consider. I mean,
The only
With
thing,
our
not counting our
meters, like,
geography.
yeah.
Then if you have to buy new battery,
Right.
batteries are just,
Yeah, I mean, but they're incentivizing them so much that you can almost get one for next to nothing. You just can't afford the charging station, but you have to.
Randolph County bought two for $16,000 apiece.
Wow.
But they did it.
But paid 5 times that for the charging station.
Right.
My goodness.
Mhm.
Now, anytime you guys got a question, feel free to call me. And like I said, I'll come back once every month or so if you
That'd
want.
be awesome. That'd be awesome.
Like I said, we got some hurdles ahead of us. I mean, it takes time. We've only got one mechanic and I help what I can. And like I say, it's a slow process.
Any further questions for her? Thank you.
thank you.
Thank you,
Thanks,
guys.
sir.
Thanks,
Appreciate it.
Terry.
See y'all later.
Okay, bye-bye.
We have nothing under information. Nothing on discussion, nothing under attendance exceptions. We're down to the consent agenda. Do I have a motion to approve the consent
So
agenda?
moved.
Second,
Second,
questions about the previous meeting, minutes of the previous meeting? Payment of bills? That's it. Let's double check, make sure we click on, make sure
Not
we're
much on
okay.
there.
All in favor to approve the consent agenda? Passes 5-0. We're down to personnel.
Everything on this agenda was all in the presentations, which will cruise through the rest of this. All right, we have nothing under professional resignations or retirements. Under service resignations and retirements. Oh, wait, no. These are sub-teacher. So these should be moved up. We're moving the 4 items up under professional
For teachers, okay.
resignations and retirements. Yeah, the first 4, we're moving up because those are sub-teachers. These are just removals for substitutes that haven't worked. So we recommend the following subs be removed from the sub list as presented. Holly Hinkle, substitute teacher, Paul Golder, sub-teacher, Neil Cosmore, substitute teacher, and Holly Plunkett, substitute teacher.
Do I have a motion? Second,
Second.
discussion. All in favor? Passes 5-0.
Under service resignation, we recommend the following subs to be removed from the sub list as presented. Rob Porter, bus operator, Stephen Mitchell, bus operator, and Richard Hall, aide and custodian.
Do I have a motion?
so moved.
Second,
Second.
discussion. These are not sub-bus operators, regular bus operators.
Sub bus operator. Yes, thank you for catching that.
So we just 2 bus
Yeah.
operators.
Sub bus operators.
All in favor? Passes 5-0.
And Rich Hall is a sub aide and custodian too. Under extracurricular resignations and retirements, we have nothing. Under professional employment, we have nothing. Under service employment, we have same person, 2 positions. Brent Hahn, substitute cook and custodian, effective with the 24-25 school year, pending background check. And we also have Brent Hahn for long-term custodian at TCHS, effective, we're gonna make that TBA because we don't have background check back yet, pending background check. So as soon as we get his background check back, we'll call him and he can start immediately.
Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second,
Second,
discussion. All in favor? That's 5-0.
that's the question.
Yes.
That one young lady that I was asking you about,
Mhm.
has she contacted you afterwards?
She's worked.
And she started, so she did start?
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah, I saw her PT the other day when I was up there. Under extracurricular employment, we recommend the following action as presented. Tyler Anderson, clock operator, announcer for regional basketball games, retroactive to March 5th, 2025, and Mandy Nusili, head track coach at DTEMS, beginning with the 2025 season.
Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second,
Second.
so as an announcer, so
It's just how the regional is.
how do you?
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
All in favor? That's 5-0.
Under leave, we have nothing. Under employee discipline, we have 2 items. Would you like these together or separate?
Any preference on you guys?
Okay.
The other front, okay.
As a reminder, I have to read the names when I make the recommendation. The superintendent recommends the following action as presented. Jessica Abel, suspension for 2 days, unpaid leave for abusive leave, and John Hopkins, suspension for 2 days, unpaid leave for abusive leave.
Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second,
Second,
discussion. All in favor? That's 5-0.
Okay, we are down to finance and budget.
We have a motion to approve the budget adjustments for February 2025. I have a motion, second. Any discussion? Tracy's here. All in favor? That's 5-0. So now we're to financial statements. So I have a motion to approve the financial statements for February 2025.
so moved.
Second,
Second.
discussion? All in favor? Passes 5-0. There's nothing under new business. Just double checking the calendar. On our calendar, there's 2 things at the high school, the boys state basketball tournament, March 20th and 21st, and hopefully on the 22nd. And the annual FFA banquet on April 5th at 5 p.m. at Fire Hall. The next board meeting, regular meeting, will be Monday, April 7th at 4:30. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Graduation dates, yeah. What graduation date is?